Today we're going to walk you through the Institute for Regional Conservation's free online resource, Natives for Your Neighborhood, and 5 tips for making the most of using this database. So if you're not familiar with how to get here, just go to IRC's homepage, www.regionalconservation.org, hover over online resources, and select Natives for Your Neighborhood. Once you're here, tip number 1 is to simply put in your 5-digit zip code in a box right here. Click Find and you will get various lists specific to your zip code, a list of plants, habitats, and wildlife. So tip number 1 is to just look at the plant list for your zip code. We have it organized by plant type, so trees, shrubs and woody ground covers, and so on. This generates a really long list, so you can either enjoy exploring through this list. You can also separate or sort by scientific name or common name. Or if this is overwhelming, tip number 2 is to go back one screen and instead of selecting this plant list, click the button right below that says Advanced Search for Plants. So tip number 2, use the Advanced Search. Once you click that button, you're going to be prompted to fill out a little bit more information specific to what you're looking for. It carries over your zip code already. Let's say you know you're looking for plants that can do well in full sun. You want something that is going to stay shrub-sized, and you do want it to attract wildlife. So I put in these selections and then hit search. And I have a much shorter list of plants that have been generated here. Let's click on one to explore further. Let's try shiny-leaved wild coffee. So I'm on this advanced search list of plants. And now I want to check out more about this specific plant. So on this page, there's a ton of info, including other resources, nurseries where you can purchase the plant, maps of where it grows throughout the state, growth characteristics, and then down here at the bottom is tip number 3 for making the most of Natives for Your Neighborhood. It's this Wildlife Interactions button at the bottom. So if we click on this, we're going to get a list of animal associates of shiny-leaved wild coffee. So we can scroll through here and see what butterflies and birds will take advantage of this plant. So butterflies that will use it as a nectar source and birds that will use it for shelter, fruit, and insects. Then you can click on any of these animals to find out more about them. So that's tip number 3, paying attention to the Wildlife Interaction button. Let's say you're not looking for an entire list of plants, but a specific plant or animal. So I'm going to go back to Natives for Your Neighborhood home. Tip number 4 is to search by plant or animal. So when you're on the Natives for Your Neighborhood homepage, simply select plant or animal. Let's say you want to find out more about what milkweeds are native to South Florida. We can type milkweed and get a list of just milkweed plants that you can click through and read more about. Similarly, you can search by animal. Let's say you want to find out more about what warblers are native in your area. Here's what we have in Natives for Your Neighborhood so far. And tip number 5, this is one I'm excited about, is to explore the wildlife pages that we're building in Natives for Your Neighborhood. So hover on this Natives for Your Neighborhood home, select wildlife, and then you can scroll through birds, butterflies, tons of butterflies in here, moths, bees, and wasps. So we are constantly working to update what's in here, but let's click on one of these butterflies to show you some of the information that you would get on one of these species pages. So a description of the butterfly, where it's found, its natural history, food that it uses, and then similarly we have this plant interactions button so you can see all the plants that you could plant for a larval host and nectar source for this butterfly. These are just some of the ways that you can use Natives for Your Neighborhood. And as always, donations from people like you allow us to make resources like Native Sphere Neighborhood free for everyone to use. Thank you.